y'all, welcome back to my channel. My channel's name is Speculative Magpie and my name is Misty. And we're here to do a book review today. Now, normally I like to do my book reviews like within a couple days of me finishing a book at the latest. I finished this book like over 3 months ago. But due to reasons, I wasn't able to do the review. So we're coming on now to do the book review. So what we're going to do is we're going to review the book, The Magpie Coffin. It took me about a year to read this book for no other reason than I just hadn't read it yet. And with, you know, the name of my channel, it was one of those things like, why haven't you read this book yet? So here we go. We're going to read the synopsis and then we are going to talk about it for a little bit, okay? So here we go. The year is 1875 and outlaw Salem Covington has spent the last 20 years collecting stories, possessions, and lives. Nicknamed the Black Magpie for his exploits during the war, Salem has carved a bloody trail across the Western territories. Informed that his mentor, Comanche shaman Deadbeard, has been murdered, Salem vows vengeance on the perpetrators. Enlisting the help of an army scout and preserving the body of his mentor in a specially made coffin, he sets out in pursuit. But the choices of Salem's past that earned him the moniker the Black Magpie are riding hard behind him, and the only weapon that can kill him might not be as far away as he thinks. The Magpie Coffin is an unrelenting tale of revenge with precise brutality and extreme violence. The first in the splatter western series from Death Heads Press. Now, lighting is bad, but I'm sorry, I don't have any way to make it better, but we'll just go with it. For someone who is not a big fan of westerns, I have watched a lot of them, and I can't even really use the excuse that my dad watched westerns, because he really didn't. Yet somehow I ended up watching a ton of Clint Eastwood movies, ton of like John Wayne movies and Sam Shepard movies, watched series like The Rifleman and all kinds of stuff like that. And yet I have never actually read a Western except for one Louis L'Amour book when I was like 11 or 12. But I picked up this one and I'm so glad I did. This book is like everything I remember Westerns being, but then you add in gore and violence and this incredible supernatural theme to it. I definitely gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was so worth it. Salem Covington, the main character in this book, the Black Magpie, is amazing. He is by far one of my favorite characters ever written. He's just so bad and mean and evil. And he does the most horrible things, but it's just great watching him go after these 5 guys that killed Deadbeard. And it's just, it was just awesome. And then you add in Jake Howe, which is not quite Salem's foil, but it's like Jake Howe, while he's, you know, he's basically, the only reason he's still alive is because Salem needed him to track down the 5 that killed his friends, because Jake saw who they were. And that's the only reason he's still alive. Otherwise, Salem would have had no problem taking out this kid, like, almost immediately. But Jake has enough humanity left in him that it's a good pair for Salem. And Salem does some horrible things. I mean, I don't want to do any spoilers because I think the impact of reading exactly the lengths that Salem will go to for this revenge is awesome. And this book just has everything in it that you would want. It has a revenge story, brother against brother, supernatural weaponry that come with a price. something that would start out as a good thing ends up being probably one of the worst things to ever happen to you. One of the, and it's just, and Salem's not completely invulnerable. He gets his shit rocked on a regular basis, but he just keeps going. He's like that, like the bad Terminator in Terminator 2, the silver guy. I can't remember what they called him, but it's like he just keeps coming. He doesn't stop. And everybody, these 5 guys that killed Dead Bear are like, oh, we got this, no problem. And then, of course, despite everything, just everything accumulates into this incredible showdown, like the last half of the book. And you are literally on the edge of your seat. The ending to this book is so satisfying. I am so glad I finally decided to pick this up, because it was just such a fun book. And from someone who doesn't even like Westerns, really, or maybe not doesn't like Westerns, just doesn't have that much experience reading Westerns, I'm definitely finishing the rest of the series. I have Hunger on the Chisholm Trail already on my Kindle for me to read when I get around to it. So that's definitely on my list, on my radar, and it was just so good. I highly recommend this book. I don't know if my my like gore and blood meter is kind of broken, because while a lot of stuff that happened was just horrible in this book, I didn't think it was that bad. There were some definitely shocking and disturbing parts in here, but like if I was doing like a gore meter level, I'd put it at about a 6 or a 7. As far as, it's got more than your average horror book, but it's definitely not to the extreme that I kind of felt it was built up to be, but still pretty disturbing. There were still some scenes where I was like, wow, that is just messed up. So definitely recommend picking it up. Definitely read it. Very glad I did. And I think Salem Covington is just a lot of fun to read about. But I don't think I want any more from him. I think where this story ended is like the perfect part. The perfect ending, because it did leave you wanting more, but I think if we added more to his legend, it would lose something. So yeah, that's my review for The Magpie Coffin by Wile Young, and definitely worth it. Next up is going to be another book review. I'm having, because I've read these books so long ago, I'm having to go back and like skim through them. That way I can talk about them a little bit, because it'd be hard to review a book and not remember like characters' names and stuff. So I might do a couple tag videos while I'm still feeling up to doing videos, just to get that out there, and hopefully look forward to my review of The Crucifixion Experiments, because that was a good book too. And I will talk to you later. Thank you for coming back, where we can talk about some books and things. Bye, y'all.